And so it begins. On our way to Michigan with 2 good-sized dogs in here. It's a bit cramped, but we're gonna do it because we don't have a choice.
Right.
It's gonna be fun. Right, Guinness?
Road trip for the dogs. And you're gonna be a day behind us.
Yeah, leaving tomorrow at like 8 p.m.
All right. So we'll be on the road and we'll get back to you.
MSU!
Hey, what you cooking?
First, let me have a glass of this, or a sip of this. I'm cooking everything in our refrigerator right now together, and I'm just messing around, playing around. But anyway, our bedroom looks like this because we're on our way to Michigan, bringing our daughter to vet school. And from here back into the garage is her apartment and everything she owns. So that's why that's over there like that. And we're staying in the front, which is fine, but we have 2 quite medium to large size dogs, which are fine. A little needy, but whatever. And, you know, I'm just putting some dinner together to use up some of the food because we haven't really had anything really homemade to eat since we've been on the road. Been on the road since
1 o'clock.
Wednesday morning.
Yeah.
Wednesday morning.
Wednesday morning.
We left the island on the ferry and then drove to pick up my daughter's dog and then started driving here. Had some issues driving here with the generator, with, I don't know, what else? Was there anything else?
No.
And we stopped last night in a truck stop, a really nice truck stop. It wasn't a truck stop, it was actually a
Gas station.
It was like a gas station kind of.
Yeah, with truck
But
parking.
it was very quiet and very secluded, and it was nice because the dog, one of our dogs, is really nuts and nervous. So that all worked out. And then we started driving here, and again, having issues with the generator. We were kind of dreading having another night like last night because it was really hot. And when that generator shut off 2 hours into the night and it was really hot, we were all really sweaty and hot. So we decided to get a campground. And because Mike was feeling bad about the lack of service or performance of the generator, I should say, he decided to look for something fun to do, and he found a winery. So we found a campground in Sandusky and a winery in Sandusky, Ohio. And here we are. So we're at the KOA in Sandusky, which is actually a beautiful campground. Great for kids. Our site is right on the lake.
And we're next to another Outlaw.
Which is, yeah, that's pretty cool. It's a great place for kids. There's a couple pools. There's a bouncy house. There's playgrounds. There's basketball courts. There's lots and lots of stuff to do. There's tons of dogs here, so it's very pet friendly. Some of the sites actually have dog kennels outside that you can use, like dog runs.
On your site.
Not super big, but they're on your site, so you could let your dog run around. But in any case, it's a great place, and we got a cab to take us to the winery, which went a lot further away than we thought it was going to be, but we made it in the last half hour that they were open. And we did a little wine tasting, bottle of wine, and
charcuterie.
charcuterie board, which is awesome. And so now here we are back at the camper, and I'm just rolling together all this food that we had in the fridge. Looks pretty amazing.
So we went to Firelands Winery.
Firelands Winery, yeah.
Beautiful place, extremely large, and they are a harvest host, folks, for up to, I believe, 2 to 4 40-foot motorhomes. If you have a tow vehicle, you have to park it in one of the parking spots. No power there. We were originally going to stay there, but because we have no generator, it'd be pretty hot. So that's why we found this KOA, and it's actually amazing, as Lisa said.
Well, we have full hookup. We have water, sewer, electricity, and cable.
Yep.
Because I am addicted to TV.
What show?
So, Shark Tank.
And what else?
90 Day Fiance the other way. Sorry, my guilty pleasure. But yeah, so we're here, we're chilling, it's late, it's kind of late for dinner for me. I don't like to eat late, but whatever. We're just gonna have some wine and have some nice dinner and hang out with the 2 dogs. And we will be sleeping on this
Jackknife.
couch.
The jackknife.
The jackknife couch that opens up, and I and the 2 dogs can fit fairly comfortably on that. And Mike's gonna sleep on the bunk bed, or maybe unless you want to try sleeping on the bed
Yeah.
with them, and I'll sleep up there because he said it's not very comfortable, but I'm willing to try it.
Well, I'm pretty heavy, so it's a thin mattress.
Or maybe you should sleep down here.
So maybe I'll sleep down here with the dogs tonight. So this is Guinness, our daughter's dog. He's a Catahoula Hound that she rescued, and he's an old man.
Hi, baby.
And he's a good boy.
He's like 5 years old, 6 years old.
Yeah.
He's a good boy, though.
And then we have our dog Senji, which she's doing pretty good.
Senji.
But yeah, sorry about the mess in the camper. We're just struggling to get...
No, it just goes to show you, though, how resourceful you can be with a Thor motorhome, because this thing's got a whole freaking apartment in here.
A whole apartment. A whole apartment.
We've got furniture back there. We've got couches. We've got dressers. We've got a queen-size bed, mattress, headboard.
Our bed is
boxes
full.
and boxes of her clothes and her toiletries and her kitchen stuff. It's really done us well.
So we're at Sandusky KOA. What a beautiful campground. And it's pretty big, I think.
It seems really big until you start walking. Unless you're carrying a box of wine.
Yeah, we went to the winery and I got a box of wine.
And of course, Mike had to buy a bunch of wine even though he doesn't drink any.
And the cab driver can't drive us into the campground.
So we have to walk.
Our campsite's this way.
That's what you get for buying a case of wine that you're not going to drink. Well, it's very nice in here. All right, I'm going to go to bed now. I'm going to go sleep up there in the bunk because we have too much stuff back there. So good night. little girl. All right, little boy. I'm going to climb up the ladder. This ladder for people with very small feet, because it really sucks. It's like for midgets or something. Oh, that's not, I'm not supposed to say that. All right, this is kind of fun though. This is like being a kid. I like it. A tree house. I just wish I had a little dog to sleep with me up here like Toto. But,
Well, I'll give you something better.
oh yes. Cocktail.
It's called a sundowner, even though it's dark.
No, it's a nice glass of cab to go to sleep nicely.
Good night.
But look at, I'm closed by a net, so I can't fall out. Hi, guys. I know you're gonna have to sleep without me down there with Daddy. Yeah. So I think this is pretty comfortable for me. I don't know, man. It's kind of hard.
We'll find out in the morning.
I don't know. The ladder sucks, though.
Yeah. All right. See you in the morning.
Good night.
Good night, folks. We just unloaded the motorhome. It's very hot. It's about 95 degrees. That's her entrance to her building, and her apartment is one of the basement apartments, so it's nice and cool. Everything's unloaded, and now it's beer time. I'm gonna park this out of the way, and we will check in later on when we get to the campground that we're staying at, which is a couple miles down the road. This is, we're checking back in from, we checked out of KOA and drove to our daughter's place, which was about 4 hours, 3.5 hours to get to her place. Checked in, not checked in, but we met her at her apartment. And,
Yeah, in East Lansing. So she lives in an apartment complex that's about, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes away from the school.
MSU.
MSU, School of Veterinary Medicine. So yeah, she's used to living in some pretty nice Boston suburb condos past couple of years. So it was a little difficult because this is an older apartment that's not quite as luxurious. But she was a little overwhelmed when we got there, and
Rightfully so.
Yeah, and you know, her first feelings were like she was hating being there. But it's very overwhelming. She's never lived more than an hour and a half, 2 hours from us. And here we are, you know, a third of the way across the country or a quarter of the way across the country, 12 hours, 14 hours away from where we live. So it was difficult, but we unpacked the motorhome, got all her stuff inside. It was pretty hot, not as hot as the day we packed it, thankfully, but didn't rain or anything like that. Got all the stuff inside, helped her unpack, cleaned the kitchen, cleaned the place, helped her get settled in there, and then went on a
retail therapy
shopping trip to stock her cupboards and get the things that she needed for her place to be homey, and got it looking pretty good. And actually, she was feeling much, much better after we got things unpacked and got things pretty settled. Then we took a tour of the school. We went to the campus, which was quite large.
Oh my God!
Huge, massive, beautiful campus. Saw the building that she's going to be spending the majority of her time in. And went to an MSU store so we could buy a bunch of swag, which I'm wearing right now. Go Spartans.
Of course, we had to go to a couple college bars, play darts.
Yeah, played some.
And they have beer pong. And
yeah, it was fun.
It was fun.
And then we went out and got something to eat, and then went back and helped her out a little bit. And then, we hung out So we spent a couple of days doing that, helping her get everything ready, hanging pictures and all that stuff. And it was a blast. We got a great time. We had a great time hanging out together, and made things a lot better for us leaving, because it's very emotional and traumatic for us to leave her so far away. And so knowing that she was more settled and happier and more comfortable in her new place made me feel a lot better, and made her feel a lot better.
Curtis
So
stayed for a couple
there were
extra
less
days.
tears.
Yeah, and
And
Curtis
yeah, Curtis stayed a little longer. So
he stayed for a couple days because he accidentally booked a flight from Boston to Detroit.
instead of Detroit to Boston.
Detroit to Boston.
But
So
I think that was a Freudian slip, because then he got to spend a little extra time with her.
right.
So he's still there tonight. This is his last night there, and today she went and got her parking pass and her got her student ID and all that stuff. So she sounded pretty excited. They went and found a beer garden, and they found some other cool stuff to do. So she seems very secure and very happy there. So it made leaving a hell of a lot easier for us.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be a really rough ride home for me.
There were some tears, but it wasn't as
But
bad as I thought.
I thought it was going to be a lot rougher ride. Just looking over and seeing you cry, and I'm a sappy guy. I cry.
Yeah.
I cry when somebody gets a deal on Shark Tank. so I thought it was going to be rough for her, which would have pushed over onto me, which would have made this long ride home a lot longer. I mean, it's 14 hours by car, so realistically 20 hours by motorhome with 100-gallon gas stops.
Yeah.
So while we were there, we stayed at Lansing Cottonwood Campground. And great little place because it's the closest place to MSU. They sell out for football weekends. They're open until November 1st, sometimes November 15th. So if you have a late game or something, you want to go there. It's very affordable. I think we paid $150 for like 3 nights, which was not really that much money.
Yeah. It's clean. It's quiet. There's
Small.
not a hell of a lot of stuff for kids to do. Nothing like the KOA that we stayed at in Sandusky, but it was definitely pleasurable. We stayed right on the lake.
Bring your fishing rod.
The site was pretty uneven, so Mike had to boost up the tires with some wood. But yeah, great place for fishing. They have fishing rods available in the store to rent or borrow.
And they have a huge beer locker in there.
Yeah,
Tons of beer.
I guess a lot of MSU people like to have a good
Camp
time
there.
over there.
Yeah, it's a fairly small campground. Make sure you have a vacuum. Make sure you have a broom. It's a very sandy, dusty type campground. So we were tracking dirt in the motorhome the whole trip. Our site, once again, was unlevel. We had to actually sign a waiver because we were on a hill that said that they're not liable if I roll off the hill into the lake, which I thought was pretty
Because apparently
funny.
people have done that.
Because apparently people have done that, which the site wasn't that bad. I had to put 4 blocks under the jacks just so the jacks can reach the ground in the back.
But it was nice. It was pet friendly, and again, it's the closest one to MSU and to where she is, and everything else was at least 45 minutes away, and that's just
Not
of
doable.
not doable. But so that was that, and
One more thing. They have 11 premium sites, which are full hookup, 50-30 sewer water, and all the other sites, which there's probably maybe another 50-60 sites, only have either standard 30, 50, and water. We didn't have sewer, but there is a really nice dump station
if
on
you
the way
consider
out.
a dump station nice.
Well, it was clean. There was no like sporadic toilet paper and poop pyramids around. It was clean. I like the campground. I would definitely go back, but if you go, just be aware that have some blocks and a broom and a vacuum.
Right. So when we checked out, we went over to her apartment, hung out for a bit longer with them, just helping her make her place homey, and it looks good. So we got on the road after that.
Get on the road after that, and that's going to be in part 3.
In part
I think.
3, yeah. Stay tuned for part 3 coming up on
part 3.
The Ride Home.
The ride home. We're going to talk about some problems we had, which all motorhomes have problems, and talk about the trip home.
We've had some glitches.
We're going to just give you a hint. Hey, Garmin,
Hey, Garmin.
Garmin.
Mm-mm-mm.
RV Garmin. Come on.
Yeah, we'll see you on part 3.
Part 3.
Bye.
Thanks, guys. Keep following our adventure. Go to outlawrvers.com.
Go green.
Go white.
Go
Bye now.
Spartans.
Go Spartans.